Okay, here we are. Welcome to Browns Out of Town. This is the wide receivers episode. I'm Ray Roberts, joined always by my co host, James Crawford. How are you doing, Jimmy?
Pretty good. Doing good.
Good, good. So, the point of the podcast here everything Browns, just not their town. We want to stay in touch with the Browns now that we're not in the Cleveland area anymore. Fully supplanted in Wisconsin now. Enough to know where to go, what to see, even probably have a job lined up. So that's good. So follow us at Browns Out of Town on all of the social medias. Make sure that you rate, review, subscribe, reach out on social media. A lot of people have liked it. My buddy Joel Covender said that he was a big fan of it, wants to come on, but once we get some sort of guest thing, that'll be cool. He likes to play music, so maybe that's something we can do.
Yeah.
He played a really good version. There was that time where I wanted to do Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time. I want to do my own cover of it, and he took inspiration and made his own cover of it. So he did a really good job.
Very good. Story.
Yeah, so check that out. And then hit the support tab if you want. That'd be cool. Give us some money. If we have 5,000 people give us $1, that's $5,000, and that's 60 grand a year. We could live off of that, so that'd be cool. And then also we might swear every once in a while, so let everybody know it's a Browns podcast, and that's what we do. So let's go around the league first. I already started my moving update. Pretty much have a job lockdown. Don't want to say where it is because it's a nationwide thing, so somebody might pay attention. But if you want to buy a generator, let me know. That'd be cool. That's about it. I just signed like some piece of paper saying I wouldn't say anything about them on anything social media, so I can't use their name.
Nice.
I know. It's like the first official, like, any sort of, like, social media thing I've had to sign, so I feel like I should take it seriously.
That's weird. Does that mean you made it? Like that
I don't
you don't
know.
have influence to trash them?
Well, maybe they, like, know that I do stuff, so they're like, "Here, maybe we should tell them not to say anything."
Yeah. If they know that you do stuff, I don't know if you're gonna get up, man.
I like it, as long as I don't say like I've gotten a very good habit of not putting where I work on anything.
Yeah.
Uh, because I mean I might put half naked pictures of myself on the internet quite often. So that
Yeah.
might
That
happen.
was a couple days ago. Yeah.
I deleted it. It was fun for
I
me.
haven't followed up on that post, so I don't know.
Well, I wanted it to be I wanted to tell everybody that they're being ridiculous because like multiple female comedians that I know have made their own OnlyFans. And it's like, we're all comedians because we're not attractive and we're not good at anything else. Let's not do an OnlyFans. So I wanted to make my own Lonely Fans.
To each his own.
Hey, it's fun.
That's what
whatever.
OnlyFans is.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's my favorite part is like they have like an OnlyFans, but then they like put like half of the shit on their Instagram, so it's like they're giving away half. It's weird, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna have to unfollow this because I don't want to get in trouble for somebody else being outrageous.
Yeah.
Shout out to Skyline Comedy Club. I did that last Wednesday for their open mic thing, so that'd be super cool if they booked me and gave me work because that would be super fun. And then COVID update, it runs in the family. I got it in March. My sister got it recently. So if you're going to the hospital,
Yeah.
don't be a dickhead and give people COVID and wear a mask. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, it seems like the testing just isn't keeping up. I don't know if you can trust it anymore. Did you ever get tested when you? I know you said you had it, but did you ever actually get a test? I can remember.
No, so when I got it, it was April. I don't know why I keep saying March, but it was April, and like at that point, it was getting right to the
It was hard
point
to get
where it
them,
was
right?
kind of available. What was
Yeah.
that?
I said it was hard to get them when you were sick.
Yeah, so like my doctor told me that she was getting them in, and then like she didn't get them, and then I called some other place because my work wanted me to get it, and they're like, we won't do it without a doctor's note, and then my doctor's like, well, at this point, it doesn't make sense. So it was just like, whatever, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Which is why it's crazy that like the NFL is gonna like now they have enough tests for like all the time. Like they're gonna test people what every day now.
Yeah, yeah. I I, I don't want to harp on this too badly, but I know your sister's situation because my wife talks to her a lot. I think it's stupid that she took a test and hasn't gotten results back yet, but the NFL is going to test every day. The NBA is testing every day and getting results back immediately. And your sister works in healthcare. Like that's so
Yeah,
dumb.
she works in a hospital, and they're
Yeah,
just like, yeah, it's going to be like 3 to 4 days. And I
yeah,
mean, it's
that's
what
crazy.
she found out, I think Friday or Saturday.
Yeah,
She texted me or something, and she still hasn't found out.
yeah, yeah. I mean, good for the NFL. Sucks for the everyday person, I guess. But
There's money.
yeah, that's what it is, man. Yeah.
I mean, it's important to have pro sports instead of healthcare workers, I guess. But like, that's
Yeah.
also my point too. Is like, I understand that it's like an example for everybody, so they need to be like, COVID's a big deal, and we're taking it seriously for the NFL. Like, we wouldn't have sports. We can't have it at your kid's stupid thing because you're not having it. I'm switching this over, but like, we're not having high school sports, but like, we're having pro sports, but like, that's the business of it, and it's different. Like, it's like, people need to realize that like, they're different than pro sports athletes. Like, those 500 or what 1,500 people or 3,000 people can be treated differently than everybody else in the country.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just how it is. Yeah. So the NFL and the NFLPA agreed to do daily testing for the first 2 weeks of training camp, they said. And after the first 2 weeks, if the positivity rate of all the tests that they send out is less than 5%, they'll go to every other day testing, which I think makes sense. I think every day is kind of overkill.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. I would say like, even like once a week, because by the time you get the next test, you're not getting the results really. I
Right.
mean, it's
Well, I
and
mean,
like the NBA though, they just had their next round. They haven't had a single test positive since they've
right. Yeah. That means the bubble's working, but the NFL isn't doing the same bubble that the NBA is. It's impossible with that many people. It's crazy.
well, training camp's pretty close to a bubble except for like the staff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true. But I don't know how you maintain that throughout the season. There's no way.
Especially with traveling. And I mean, it's going to be, but like, the thing that everybody's always said is that like, the disease is going to get bad again in the winter, and that's when like half the football season is. Like,
Right.
they're going to be traveling around on, and I mean, most of the planes are private planes and like private buses and stuff like that, so they're going to
Yeah.
be contained. Just don't go out and like do dumb shit afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they have a contingency plan in place for like a delay mid season if that happens. McAfee was saying today that the NFL has the rights to the hotel rooms they reserved in Tampa for the Super Bowl up to a month after the Super Bowl. So if they
Well,
have to
that's
push it
smart.
back a week or two, they have them. But
Well, I mean, they had to do it with like 9/11, so it's like they have, like, there is a way to do this if they know how to do it before. And I mean, it's not
yeah,
the same thing as like having to shut everything down because of like terrorism or whatever. I mean, it's way more deadly, but we're taking
push
it less
them back a week
seriously.
or whatever. Yeah,
But it's like, there's a precedent set for it that it's easy to do. Um, so you put in here, so the zero preseason games, was that officially agreed on, or was that just offered?
I think the NFL offered it. I don't know if the PA has accepted it. I mean, that's what they were asking for, so I don't see why they wouldn't. That just came through last night, so and I haven't seen anything else on it today. So, but I'm assuming that's what the players will accept. I mean, I don't know the
Yeah,
fine details of that, but it sounds like they're getting what they're asking for. So,
and especially with that like longer plan on like getting everybody set up, like having the first 10 days or whatever being for workouts, and then having practice days of no pads, just to like ease everybody in because they haven't been able to like go to gyms and stuff.
right, yeah, I think it gives them flexibility to delay training camp a few weeks too if they need to. I know they're supposed to start like today, but I haven't seen anything that says that the rookies actually reported today. Have you?
I haven't, like, to
Or
be honest, I haven't paid attention as much as I should have, because I got Ghost of
wrapped up in them
Tsushima.
damn video games.
Dude, it's killing me. Like, it's I've got major hours in. Like, it's like my full-time job, and it's great if you want to go get it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a good
I
game.
saw I saw Ashley's learning Japanese for you. So
It's insanity. But I mean, even just like ESPN alerts or anything like that, I haven't seen any come across my phone where it would like
yeah,
be up to anything.
I was trying to browse like Cleveland Brown social media, and I didn't see anything. You would think they'd show like Will, Jedrick Wills or something, in, practicing or whatever. But I didn't see anything.
Aren't
So I
they in
don't.
a couple days though? Like, aren't they supposed to be like the 23rd?
I did see on Reddit was kind of debating it, like that they heard it was supposed to be today, but then some people are saying it's 24th too. So I'm assuming it's 24th since I didn't see anything today on Brown social
Well,
anywhere.
because like the Texans and who else are supposed to be in now?
Chiefs.
Yeah,
Kansas.
so like, are they already in and practicing and doing it?
It might just be their like acclimation period. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, because I haven't even seen any updates from that. Like any sort of like this is what's going on the first because it was supposed to
well,
be
I know the
yesterday, right?
NFLPA proposed like an acclimation period. JC Tretter's manning that up, the Brown Center, where they want 21 days that are just dedicated to the strength and conditioning, 10 days non-padded practices, and 14, and the final 14 would be full contact. But I don't even know if they've agreed to that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird season regardless. Like they should.
Are they just showing up just to get tested? Like, is that the whole plan? And then because you would think that they would have to, they wouldn't even be allowed to practice until they got their first wave of tests done.
Or even like what happened to like the 2 week travel quarantine because not everybody's hanging around in like their team's hometown. So like they would
Yeah,
have had to move up
I
here
think
two
that's
weeks
probably
ago.
state to state though. Yeah, that might be state though too. I don't know.
And
It's
then so in here I see that the New York teams are playing with no fans. Is that all year or is that until they update it?
they announced the whole season. Yeah, from what the press release said from the Giants and the Jets collectively, they did a joint press release and it said no fans this year.
Have the Haslams even said anything about Cleveland fans? Like that's the thing is that there's no plan
Yeah,
for anything yet.
I mean, I think there's state regulations, and I don't know what Ohio's are right now. I forget, but I think they're looking at like less than 50%.
Which I mean, it makes sense.
Which in Cleveland still 50,000 people, But
Yeah,
you
I
won't
mean,
catch me.
it's gonna make the experience so much more expensive. Like it's like they're just gonna charge more for the tickets. They're not gonna lose money. Like somebody's gonna pay premium to go.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like I'm not sure what baseball's doing. Did baseball announce that there's no fans because the Indians have tarps over all their seats with advertisements on them now?
Yeah, like I've seen the Mets have like their cardboard cutouts in there and shit. Like I don't think that they're having fans at least for. uh, I mean, they only go until October, so like they've got 3 months. Like who cares?
Yeah. Just you would think that the Major League Baseball would be more likely to have fans than the NFL just because they're smaller stadiums, and you can kind of spread people out more. Who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, this is about the time that everybody stops going to watch baseball, anyways. So
True.
like, they're not really. I mean, especially in Cleveland, like this is like it's too hot for a baseball game.
Yeah, it's fucking hot. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting season. Do you think? I have a note in here, just outside the NFL and all the problems that they're having. Do you think there is going to be a college football season? I don't think there is. I think they're going to can it.
I don't. Yeah, there's not going to be college. It doesn't make sense. I mean, like the Ivy League. Who cares about the Ivy League? But
Right.
they're canceling all fall sports. Ohio State came out and said at best they're doing conference
Big Ten.
games.
Yeah.
And then SEC said like they're optimistic right now, but like they don't think it's going to be a real football season. Like they might as well just can it and like move on. Like just call it.
Yeah, it stinks. But I don't see how it happens because you got to have all those kids on campus. It's just if there's going to be football, you're going to have kids on campus outside football, and I don't think you can do that right now.
Until the NCAA says that college football is a business, which everybody knows that college football is a business.
Yeah.
Separated from the rest. I mean, think of all the things like, of course, like Title IX stuff's important and like women's sports are important and stuff like that. But college football, even compared to college men's basketball, is a completely separate game. Like they just need to separate that from the rest of the NCAA and be like, look, college football is a business. The rest of it's for fun and sports. Like, I mean, Cardale Jones is going for football. He's not going for school. Like he's not. He's like there's no reason.
He didn't come here to play school. He came here to play football. Yeah.
Right. Like and how much money is gonna be lost? Like I went to a bar just because the Brewers aren't playing, and one of the bars that I do mics at, like the guys like that cut their business in half. Like right now, because they're pretty close. I mean, Milwaukee's like close to the stadium. Everywhere in Milwaukee's close to the stadium, and they're like, we would be at capacity right now because there'd be a baseball game. and now there's not,
Yeah.
and they're losing all that business. Columbus is going to shut down. Like their entire economy is based around the Buckeyes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Related to that, I thought you would find it interesting on Reddit right before we started recording here. If there is not an NFL season, the rumor is that the NFL is going to calculate win percentages over the last 4 seasons and give the top team with the worst win percentage the number 1 overall pick, and that would be your Cleveland Browns at 20.
So, are we taking Trevor Lawrence then? Like, is that like, do we have to?
I don't know. I mean, it depends, because I was going to say it depends on how Baker does this year, but we won't know how Baker did this year if there's no season. So
Somebody, I forget where it was, but somebody, I think it might have been like ESPN Daily. They were asking if Trevor Lawrence is too tall to be a quarterback, because they're like, is there a point where like you're too tall? And it's like, come on now, like first it's too short, now it's too tall. Like you're just finding reasons to cut down these.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. The draft is in Cleveland this year. You know, it's a Cinderella story. Makes 2016 worth it. You know.
Maybe. Do we bring Hugh Jackson back to do our pick for us?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Bring the boys back, like him and Sashi.
Yeah. Do you think? Are you surprised by 23%? Doesn't that seem high?
No. I mean, that seems about right. Out of 16 games, that's just a shade over 3.
Yeah.
That's
winning 1 game in 2 years, though. You know what I mean?
Well, right, but we won
7 and then 6.
Yeah, so that makes sense over 4 years. So it's
14 out of 30 or 14 out of 64. Yeah, okay.
Math is our friend, I guess.
Based off looking at just the raw number, it looked kind of high, but that makes sense.
It almost feels low because even though the last year wasn't like it's upsetting, like last year and the year before were the 2 best Browns seasons in a long time.
Yeah.
And like last year was so disappointing because we had a shot at being real good, but like any other year we'd be super jacked about that.
Yeah, for sure. So
23% is like, oh, with this team, like 23% is garbage. Like if we would have won 4 games last year, we would have set the town on fire. Like the year that we won 0, it was less disappointing because we're like, well, we're going to win no games this year. Like, it was almost like that's just what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, you want to get in quarterback or get into wide receivers?
Yeah, let's do more quarterbacks. We're hitting Garrett Gilbert real hard this week.
Yeah. This is the Drew Stanton episode if you missed the intro there. Yeah.
Dude, I love Drew Stanton. Michigan State quarterbacks, just like them and like random Notre Dame quarterbacks are my favorite, like little bits of knowledge. Because who was the quarterback for Michigan State? He was the quarterback, then played wide receiver, and then like his senior season came back and played quarterback again. Do you remember who that was? Because he was decent like his sophomore year, and then somebody came in.
I know a lot of quarterbacks, but I don't know that one. Yeah,
it was interesting because it was a white dude, so like he would had to drop all this weight and get really fast and play wide receiver.
No, I want to look into that.
Speaking of wide receivers,
Cornelius Beckham. Yeah, Odell Cornelius Beckham Jr. What do you think? What do you think of that middle name?
You're stealing my thunder on the middle names because Jimmy set up the outline because I'm a loser and played video games for the last 4 days. But yeah, around here. That's as somebody with a great middle name and a family middle name, how do you feel about there being 2 Odell Cornelius Beckhams out there?
It's a legacy. Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be a third with that name. There has to be.
Oh, it's going on forever. That Cornelius is the smart person name too.
Oh yeah. Every time we do this, there's always a good middle name. I like it. But
there's a couple of them.
Yeah, we'll get to them.
Yeah, we'll get there. We don't want to jump ahead. Went to LSU. We're not doing the whole deep dive on him because there's too many of them.
And honestly, I don't really care about his.
Yeah, he went to LSU and he was really good. And him and Jarvis Landry were great. Who would have thought that team wouldn't have won any games, really? They weren't that – it was a good LSU team, but it wasn't that great. All right, dead air. The 2019 stats here.
Yeah, but that's all right. 2019 stats for it.
Yeah, so like the 74 receptions for 1035, 1035 yards. So this is like the first year in a long time that the Browns had two wide receivers over 1,000 yards, and it was still like an underwhelming season because they were both hurt and still put over 1,000 yards each,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean,
But
the numbers are good when you look at them in retrospect, but it's just so disappointing because it was supposed to be such a good season between the two of them. You know, you just wish they had come touchdowns really. But you're happy with the yardage. It just doesn't seem like it because there's such a cloud over those guys. You know, but
Well, and I mean, with the injuries, like the touchdown numbers, he only had four. Like, that's not good. But, I mean, you have the big plays that get you into scoring position, and then you have one of the best running backs in the league, and you don't hand him the ball. You give your second-year quarterback the ball and throws interceptions in the red zone all the time. Like, that was the
yeah,
offense last
yeah.
year. Not taking layups. You have a big thing on off-the-field issues with Odell Beckham. You can lead this off because I don't give a shit about any of his off-field stuff.
No, I don't either. I just like discussing them because I think they're good talking points, and we can debate whether it's an issue or not. But the obviously the LSU championship game this past winter, after the game, handing out bundles of cash to juniors and seniors, some people that are returning to the NCAA next season, automatically violating NCAA rules for those players. What do you think about that?
Cash. It was fake cash. Was the story.
Yeah, my favorite part of that story is assaulting a police officer by slapping him on the rear while they were smoking cigars in the locker room.
Yeah, and the game was in New Orleans. Like,
Yeah.
you have to assume the guy's a Tigers fan. So why wouldn't he be like
I
all
don't
about
understand.
it?
Yeah, it's a dumb talking point, but it's a talking point nonetheless. It happened. It shouldn't have happened. It's not. It's not.
Well, my favorite part. So like McAfee share it like on his commercials in there, like it has like the kicker for Clemson kicking that long field goal against LSU, and like Odell's right next to him, and like he's obviously drunk as shit. Like, and it's like, all right, cool, like have a good time. You're back home, like it's the national championship. Have fun, like get it done.
Yeah, it's the offseason. Yeah.
And give cash away. Who gives a shit? I mean, he didn't have enough money to give him that much money.
Yeah. I just think it's crazy he carried that around the entire game.
Well, that's what he's like, and that's
fanny pack or something.
Right. And I mean, it's even like you have on here, like the things that you have an issue with is like the uniform compliance, like little ticky tack dumb bullshit. I think it's good.
I could say I didn't like the watch thing. I didn't care wearing the watch. I that he was wearing the watch out of like defiance to the NFL and causing a distraction. That was my only thing.
He's got to get the money. He's got to get the sponsorship.
No, I get, but I don't. If you're Odell Beckham Jr. and you're coming to a new team and you guys have a ton of hype, you don't need the distraction. Just don't wear the fucking watch.
That's when you get the money, though. Like, any attention to Cleveland is a good thing. It gets the eyeballs on it. It gets more people. You can like, it's a good city. Like, I like to shit on it because you're close. Like, the thing I was gonna say off the top that I forgot is that like Milwaukee's so different from Cleveland that like it's a nice, hardworking town, but there's not 37 T-shirt companies talking about how great it is. So like, any attention from Cleveland or to Cleveland from anywhere outside of Cleveland is cool. And like he's bringing it in, like you're getting watch sponsorship. It's like when LeBron was in Cleveland the second time, where like they were talking about it being like the second New York. Like they're getting attention there, and you're getting sponsorship money in there. People are watching the games, and it's cool. And I mean, you want them to step up to it, but like it's almost like the Myles Garrett thing all over again, or the Baker thing all over again. Like, it's not that big of a deal. He's not even making that big deal about it. And he's even being defiant because he's like, well, if I stop doing this, what's next? Like, who cares if I wear a watch? It's not affecting the game.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, the NFL shouldn't be such a hard ass about it. But I don't like the talking points. I'd rather stay out of the news. I'm a, stay under the radar kind of guy, but that's just me.
And well, it's an entertainment business. Like, football isn't even a game anymore. Like, it's entertainment. Like, and that's what, like, everybody, I almost am excited for, like, everybody to kneel and all these, like, old white assholes who are like, you need to respect the game that gave you. It's like, it's a fucking game. It makes so much money. It's entertainment. Like, you're watching it to see what Odell Beckham's going to do. Like that's what you watch him for. That's why he's made so much money. That's why you watched the Browns last year, is because it was like, how's Odell, Jarvis, and OBJ and Baker all gonna fit together? And it's like, that's why you're watching. Let's sit back and enjoy it. And there's fun in between. Like the game's still fun, but like get your old man shit out of here. Like it's all entertainment.
Maybe I'm an old man. Oh God.
Yo,
Already hit me
like
hard, man.
yeah, you're an old dad. You're gonna be sitting outside and be like, they just don't play it like they used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like my Browns with less wins and less attention.
Right.
I only get my sports news from Mary Kay Cabot. That's all I want.
She had it first, man. She had it first.
Oh, dude, that like, have you seen the Browns beat toaster or whatever it is?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so funny. It's like he'll
It's
just be like, "I had it first." Like,
Yeah.
it's so funny. All right, Jarvis Landry, Jarvis Charles Landry, officially the most boring middle name that we've had so far. Another LSU Tiger, go Tigers with an X. You've got OBJ's BFFFFF, and I want to know in their time in college,
I didn't
like
see that now.
yeah, I added it last minute. Like, you know that they had to have enjoyed the same females every once in a while, and like, since they're best friends,
Yeah.
like how, like, it's got to be interesting being the two of them in LSU and now in the pros together. Like, I know they're both like happily together with people or whatever, but you're still an NFL wide receiver. Like, just
Yeah.
being out with them has to be like a phenomenal time.
Yeah. They're definitely Eskimo brothers, and I spelled Eskimo like you would go Tigers.
That is quite funny. Because yeah, I mean that's gonna yeah, that's gonna be the name of the that's got to be the subtitle to it. But like even like when before I quit drinking and all that stuff, even when like we would hang out and it's like, all right, cool, like you're in town, we're having a good time, we're going back to like 20-year-old Ray and Jimmy, and we're tying it on. These guys have millions of dollars and are on the same team together and have been best friends for like 20 years. Like, that's insanity. Can you imagine like the carnage?
Like 26 and 27. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's insanity. 83 receptions. Like, this is his lowest reception rate in a while, I believe, because he had over 100 for like what, 4 or 5 years before that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I think that's right.
83 receptions for 1174, 6 touchdowns. Again, low touchdowns. Went to the Pro Bowl, and yes, he was the MVP of the dodgeball game. Isn't this the second year in a row?
I don't know. I didn't watch the last one. I watched this year when he like got everybody out by himself. But
Was that this year? I thought that was last year.
Was it last year? I think it was this year.
I don't,
Because I remember watching
the
it
longest
with
year.
the Kobe Bryant coverage. But
Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's just make it all dodgeball. Like, make it all dodgeball and trick
Yeah.
shot.
I'm done with the game. I could care less about the game. I like the skills competition and the other fun stuff they do.
Or like, do they even do like the kicking thing anymore, where it's like the different angles and who's got the longest kick?
I don't know. I don't think so. At least I didn't see it. I saw a couple guys throwing stuff through tires. That's about it. I think that's all I saw when I turned it on was a little bit of the game, throwing stuff through tires, and the dodgeball game. That was it.
I just want to see people doing things that I can't do better than I can do them. Like, that's all I want.
Yeah.
Like, you see them be like, they're football players, and obviously they're really good at football. That's why they get all this money. But I want to see them I want to see them do things that I can do and see how much better they are at it than I am.
Yeah. That's always a good measure is, I can do that. Oh, I can't do it like that though.
Yeah. Like I want to see them take the trash out very quick. Like, I want to see that happen with like an obstacle course, or like, I even think like we've been watching a lot of Chopped. I think NFL Chopped would be super fun. Like, if they did that for the skills challenge.
Yeah. They might have to do that if there's no NFL season. So
That'd be super cool. I'm all for NFL Chopped. All right, I'm gonna let you hit the next wide receiver because I don't know the pronunciation, and I'm not gonna get on record saying it wrong.
Sure. So Rashard Hollywood Higgins, middle name Rashard Malik Higgins. He's a Colorado State Ram. He only had 4 receptions for 55 yards this past season with 1 touchdown. Pro Football References says that he started 1 game and played in 10. I do not remember seeing him in 10 games. I think I'm sure it's legit, but it just doesn't seem like I saw him in 10 games.
Yeah, but why wasn't he? Why wasn't he there? I mean, even his 18 stats weren't like 39 for 572 and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
like that's
going into 2018, he had 39 receptions for 572 yards, 4 touchdowns. He only started 1 game in 2018, but played in 13. But he wasn't the guy coming at the beginning of the season. He had a good connection with Baker in the preseason, which people forget about. And he had a good connection with him during the regular season, but he still wasn't a starting caliber guy, which I think
they were both they both started on the second team. So right. He was the guy on the second team. So they bring him in as
second team guy. Yeah. You would think that he would have a little bit more action than that, but I don't know. Maybe we just have, what's the expression, looking through rose glasses or whatever, but maybe we just remember the good memories about him from 2018 and we just didn't see him in 2019. I guess he was hurt. But we still never really got an answer why he was blackballed by Freddie. It seemed like he was healthy. He's pissed that he's not on the field. You could see him visibly frustrated.
But then they signed him to an extension. So
right.
What? And everybody on the team was super hype about getting him onto the extension. So what's the deal? Everybody loved him except for Freddie.
Yeah, pretty much. So
hopefully, Freddie just likes interceptions.
I'd love to see him. Yeah, he does. He can't. Can't have guys catching balls. But
you can't have touchdowns. You just can't have it. Back in my day, we only ran for touchdowns, but we don't give it to the running back to run for touchdowns. So,
right, exactly. So yeah, hopefully he turns it around this year and gets some balls thrown to him because Odell and Jarvis are getting double teamed. So we'll see.
And there's a Hollywood in Baltimore now too, and we need our Hollywood to be the better one.
Yeah, and that Hollywood is actually Baker's guy. Didn't he go to Oklahoma?
Yes, he was the other guy. He was the other side of CeeDee Lamb, except for last year. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be the best wide receiver ever. He's a fucking animal.
Gonna be good.
I would have given up the first 4 rounds to get him, to have him, OBJ, and Jarvis on there, just to have him open it up out of the slot or something would have just been ridiculous.
Yeah.
But whatever. Here we are. I'm recording a podcast that's glitchy all the time, and they're the GM of the team.
We'll figure it out. That's all right. The last receiver I have on our list for us to talk about is Donovan Peoples-Jones, the rookie out of Michigan. He didn't have a middle name listed on his Wikipedia page yet, so we're unclear on that.
Peoples is his middle name.
I don't think that's true. He came out of Michigan up north as a junior. He had 103 receptions for 1,300 yards with 14 touchdowns throughout his 3 years in Michigan. I only included him on here rookie, and I did enjoy watching him play in Michigan. I'm an Ohio State fan, but I watch a lot of Michigan football living in Toledo.
So did he play all 3 years? Or was it just out of 2 years? That's something that's interesting to me.
I want to say he did. I should have looked that up, but I want to say he played a little bit his freshman year. He probably wasn't a huge guy, but he was definitely their most talented receiver last year. So I'm excited to have him. I like Big Ten guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's good because you get to see a whole bunch of them, and they can play in the cold. But I haven't seen a good Michigan player play on Saturday and I don't know how long. It's
play on Sunday.
You just don't see Michigan anymore. Yeah, you don't see. It's almost like Joe Thomas going from Wisconsin to the Browns. You never saw Joe Thomas play for Wisconsin. Yeah. Nobody gave a shit until he came out.
Yeah. And then I didn't include any other wide receivers because just like Gary, Indiana, they're full of nobodies. So.
Yeah, fuck Gary, Indiana. But also we haven't had. I think this is a good spot to talk about how they should have done last year and how Freddie's a fucking moron. They need to make Kareem Hunt just a slot back. They just need to make him do it. Make him catch balls. It's what he did in Kansas City. Yeah. We have our workhorse back. Put him in the slot. line him up at running back on third downs, whatever, but like always move him out to the slot if you don't need the protection. Like he needs to be a receiver.
Yeah, I like some of the two back sets, but I definitely agree he has to get sent out wide. But
I mean, if we had a quick quarterback like Cam Newton, or if we had now I'm blanking on him, the cat from Baltimore, LaShawn Jackson. Like if we had anybody who could even like a Taysom Hill, anybody who could move and having like a legit triple option, that'd be cool to have two running backs that can.
It's so hard to do though because the defensive lines are so quick now. They're just so much quicker than college. I think the triple options, so there's too many moving pieces. But
well, right, but I mean, even like if Njoku wasn't so short-sighted and didn't see it, to like you throw Kareem Hunt on his side with Njoku because you already know that Stonehands out there has enough trouble catching the ball, let alone with somebody on him. You make a linebacker choose between Kareem Hunt and Njoku, then one of them's going to be open. Like you're New England all over again.
Yeah. Yep. You want to move into the Madden ratings?
Yes, this is the most important thing because we were both watching Pat McAfee, and I was like, hey, we need to do Madden ratings, and Jimmy called me out on it right away. Well, I mean, it's interesting. It's content. I mean, and it's like
overrated, underrated is a solid segment. It's okay. We'll do it.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, well, I've been seeing like all these like Cleveland Browns have like the top 5 offense on paper, like all this other shit, and then you look at Madden, and then like you see all these ratings, and I don't know if like when I see the Madden ratings and I see like 7 players have a 99 out of it, like I don't know if those players are just that much better than our players or what.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Patrick Mahomes is a lot better than Baker Mayfield, but
yeah, I mean, and he is.
But I mean, rating here in a second.
Well, right, but Myles Garrett's a 93. Is he the highest on the team?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
All right. So I mean, it's who's a higher rated D end? I don't know if there's a better D end out there than Myles Garrett. Like, what are the Bosa's ranked?
Oh yeah, I should look that up. Let me see. I can look that up real quick though. I included some similar quarterbacks to discuss over Baker's stuff, but I didn't think about
I saw that.
Miles.
That's going to be a good one. 91 is Nick Bosa. Oh, 81 or 89 now.
So Nick's a 91.
So Joey's a 91, Nick's an 89. So okay, he's better than the Bosas. Okay, so that's what my argument was going to be. Is like those are the biggest names for DM. Yeah, Nick Chubb 92. Who's the highest rated running back? Like who's better than Nick Chubb in the league right
now? I mean, I've seen a lot of lists with him at like 6 or 7 out of the top 10.
That's insanity to me.
You had Zeke above him. I don't think Zeke's better than Nick Chubb right now.
No, and I saw a list that had Todd Gurley at the top of above him, and it's like Todd Gurley didn't do shit last year.
I think the biggest ones, that are comparable is Alvin Kamara, Zeke, and Derrick Henry.
Okay, yeah, Derrick Henry after his year last year. Okay, I'll give him that one. But I mean, we've got their fucking tackles.
Yeah, right. True. Also true. So Myles Garrett, do you have him overrated or underrated? You think
I think he's all right. I mean, I would have expected maybe a 95, but I mean, 93 seems fair.
Yeah, 93 is good. I think that's pretty good for especially coming off the season he had, where he didn't put up the stats he wanted because of the suspension. But I think that's fair. Nick Chubb at 92, I'm happy with that too. Honestly,
I think it's fine. So, like to me, because especially now with how Madden is updating all the time, so they always update the ratings, I feel like these are good jumping off points for it. That's why I have a problem with like them starting people at a 99, because like you can only go down from there. Like, is Patrick Mahomes should be a 99 if you're looking at it on paper, but I mean, he comes out, has a couple bad games. What are you going to do? Downgrade him to a 94, 97? Like, what are you going to do to that? Or are you going to keep him a 99?
Related to Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey is a 99. I don't think he's a 99.
I think so. I mean, and that's what Kareem Hunt should be. The thing that gets Kareem Hunt to me is overrated. He didn't do shit last year, and I don't think that's his fault. But like
Yeah.
for an 87, I mean his quicks are going to be good. I feel like he could be a McCaffrey kind of back. Like put him like just overall yards. Like run Nick Chubb into the ground, put Kareem Hunt on the side, make him catch balls, run a couple
And,
runs with him to keep everything square. But like get him out there.
yeah. What do you think about OBJ at 91?
That's fine.
I think
Coming off of an injury
yeah,
after last year.
I think that's a little bit overrated. I wouldn't mind seeing him at like 88, but
Yeah, I mean within like 5 points, I think is
yeah.
probably
I mean,
about
we're being
right. Really
really picky right now. But just
Austin Hooper, I'm gonna be honest. I'd never watched him take a snap of
no
football.
idea. Yeah, we'll see.
89 seems awfully high for somebody I've
I'm
never
happy
heard
with
of until he came to the
tight
Browns.
end I know nothing about. I'll take 89. Yeah,
He had Matt Ryan throw into him. Like, how are you not?
Denzel Ward.
Yeah, I don't know. Denzel Ward, 86. He was hurt all last year, so like, who knows?
Yeah, fine with that.
I mean, he had a
Joe
good
Baton,
rookie season.
86. Good with that too.
I think that's low.
Really.
I think Batonio's in the 90s as an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I think he should be too, but I think the overall offensive line performance last year hurt him.
Well, but I mean, he lives in Orlando or Hawaii or wherever the Pro Bowl is. Like, he might as well just get a second home. He's that good. Like, everybody knows
true.
he's that good. He should be in the 90s.
Yeah.
Jarvis, I think, is right about on after last year. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of where OBJ should have been.
Yeah, that's kind of why I said OBJ should probably come down a little bit because I wouldn't mind seeing Jarvis go up a little bit. So
I mean, I think 85, and here's the thing, like when you see the list of like them being like Cleveland's in the top 5 of the offenses, and then you see like the Madden list, and you're like, how is everybody else's like offense not this good? Like it doesn't make sense.
yeah,
And then Baker's a 78, which I think is fair. I mean, after last year.
yeah, I'd feel better about it at like an 80, but it's definitely
What was
given
his-
the circumstances.
What was it? I'm looking up his 19 Madden score.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Look up Madden 20 though, because it was Madden 20, not Madden 19.
Well, I did so 19. He was the only rookie quarterback with an 80 plus rating, so he was
wow.
in the 80s his rookie year. Come on. All right, it's getting too hard to find it. Like, it doesn't matter.
So by comparison, though, Baker Mayfield's at a 78 this year. Big Ben's at 81. Tannehill's at 80. Derek Carr, 79. Cam Newton, 78. Josh Allen with Buffalo at 77. Kyler Murray, 77. And Joe Burrow at 76. I don't think he's better than – well, I think he's probably better than most of those quarterbacks. Maybe not Ryan Tannehill.
He's not better than Roethlisberger. I don't think he's better than Roethlisberger.
We'll see.
He's coming off an injury. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, 81's fair. Tannehill's not even a real quarterback. He just he hands the ball to Derrick Henry.
I think Cam Newton is criminally underrated, but
Yeah.
he'll skyrocket once the season starts.
But for how much everybody's been on Josh Allen's dick the last 2 years, like he's the reason why Buffalo is like where they're at. But like for him to only be 77 is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's surprising.
I mean, I wouldn't pick Josh Allen over Baker Mayfield ever, but
Yeah.
he looks like a big dumb baby.
Bigger question: are you buying Madden this year?
No, I haven't bought Madden in for so long.
So super glad we did this segment. Yeah, neither of us are gonna play it, but
Dude, the Ghost of Tsushima Tsunami or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That game is gonna take over my life forever. All right, so here, let's wrap it up. This is what we got to work on. We found out that putting the Angel Miguel Vasquez Jr. Memorial Fantasy Football League doesn't fit as the name of a fantasy football league. So I forget what the name of it is, but it's still cool. So get at us if you want to be in it. That'd be super cool because we want to still do that. That'd be a cool thing to do.
the league exists. We just don't have we have a name for it. I just can't remember what it is, but it will be in relation to something like that. But yeah, get at us if you're interested. Get us at social media. slide in our DMs, do whatever you got to do.
Oh, the podcast backup plan. I'm glad that we're telling people this because you're so smart. Look at Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's like he's in the entertainment business and has completely thrown his life away to video games the last few days. It's all right. So yeah, this is something that I talked to him about before we even started it. We can, if there's no season or there's a delay, we can still roll this. There's 50 years of old football games around that we can do. We can do stupid, kitschy shit. We can do our favorite quarterbacks from before the Browns got shut down. Like, is Jim Brown really that good? Stuff like that. Game Pass is free, so we can watch all the old stuff. So we can do that.
Yeah, so I was looking into Game Pass, though. They only show games from 2009 and newer. It's the last 10 years. So
which makes sense.
Further, we'll have to figure out some other ways. So I was going to say, if anybody knows of ways to watch games prior to watch some of the 1999 games, I want to watch Bottlegate. I think that was like 2001. Have you ever seen that game?
I've seen like the rehab or like the recap
clip of it. Yeah, but I want to rewatch the whole game. Yeah,
that'd be fun. Yeah, and I mean, if like your dad has it on like VHS, like upload it to like Google Drive or something.
Yeah.
We'll give you access to the Google Drive. You can
Google Drive, yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. For $50 a month on our support thing, you can have access to the Google Drive and see that one of us will put this together last minute.
Yep.
And then we'll go from there. And then that way, if you give us $50, we can buy workable internet for whoever's fault it is on this side. So that'll be cool. Jesus fucking Christ. But I don't know. Anything else, Jimmy? This is a nice, quick, easy one.
No, I think that's it. I'm good.
All right, cool. At Browns Out of Town, hit the support tab, help us out. Hit us up on all the social media. Sharing is caring. And definitely put some comments on the Instagram page. Let us know what you're looking for.
Yeah, I'll have some posts coming out this week, so keep involved and follow us at Browns Out of Town. Yep.
All right, thank you, and go Browns.